Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Touring Australia in the Prado Hospital temporarily, doing some trip after trip maintenance and cleaning and a bit of prevention and a lot of paint, let's call it maintenance or damage prevention. So we're just going to show you what we do and demonstrate sort of how well it works with such a little amount of effort. Now, starting up this end of the vehicle, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but we've given this a bit of a, we just reapplied some wax. There is a couple of little pinstripes. Now we did go, look, this vehicle's recently just done 5,500, 6,000 Ks, mainly 80% outback tracks and dirt sort of thing. And there was some overgrown tracks around, mainly around Googs track in South Australia and a few other places like that that I can't think of. I did my best to avoid those, you know, branches that stick out. And it's not the, just to give you some information, it's not the green stuff usually that causes, you know, the issue, the leaves, and it's more the actual trees, the harder stuff and the dry stuff, dead stuff. Of course, the berry bushes, they're really bad. They'll cut into your paintwork just like a razor blade, literally like a razor blade. And those dead ones even worse. So that's where you want to carry your secateurs, your hedge trimmer or whatever you've got, and trim that stuff off for you and the next guy. If everyone does a little bit of track maintenance, that'll be helpful to help protect the paintwork. Now, of course, white's the best color if you want to look after your paintwork. The vehicle will stay cool and it's cheaper. It's easier to hide any issues. It's easy to repair really, but you know what, it's just boring and white. So there's pros and cons of white. You know, I've had white vehicles. I like white, but I like a bit of, what's the word? Jazz it up a bit, you know, get funky. So anyway, basically this has been down a lot of really overgrown tracks, and look, I've just reapplied this wax and it's just so smooth. I can't demonstrate for you really how smooth it is, right? So this vehicle's done just hit almost 40,000 Ks. It's about 20 kilometers under 40,000. It's done quite a lot of outback trips and touring. It's been around the place. So it is a highway K vehicle. It doesn't go to the shops and all the short trips and stuff like that. It's the touring vehicle. Okay, let's just have a look at the 120. You can see it there in the reflection, just to compare how your vehicle can end up looking at 400,000 Ks, taking a medium sort of amount of care. When I say medium amount of care, what I mean is, of course, I take enough care and dodge what I can, but I suppose I'm a little bit careless. When you've got a vehicle that's 10 years old or so, silver's probably the next best color. Well, I'll say the best color because I think it's nice and light, it stays cool, it looks good, it's the most popular color. It's easy to get parts and panels if you do damage one or something. And it is really easy to look after. Maybe arguably even easier than white in some aspects. But see the pit, look, I do take care of this, but you can see all the way, right? Don't worry about the lead, that's just the fridge plugged in, the charger charging the battery, and the fridge running off 240 volt. So the issues we've had, you can see here, we're not going across the whole paintwork, but that's the Rhino bat wing. When the plastic hinges break, you know, it comes down and does damage like that, so beware of that. You can see on the, from all the sticks, all the scratches on the lights, okay? This vehicle has been around, but we do apply the wax, but not lately. So this is not as slippery, okay? At the moment, it needs probably needs a polish and a wax. You know, all this will polish out. Now, obviously that won't polish out, but I just want to give you an example, right? So you can see, just recently, I think I copped a few more sticks, a bit of some overgrown tracks where, you know, so we'll just quickly go over that and just, I can't demonstrate. This is smooth, but it's nowhere near as smooth as freshly applied wax on the other vehicle, which is what you want to do if you think you're going to possibly end up in some overgrown tracks, right? So all this stuff will polish out. All that stuff will polish out, but on this vehicle, because it's newer and you've invested more money, you probably want to look after it better. So it's more of a regular, that is just so smooth. Let's go and have a look at the product we use. I got it over here on the bench. I didn't use this first. I didn't invent it, make it. I haven't got shares in the company. I just went to Super Cheap and purchased this whenever somebody recommended. A lot of people use it. Apparently it's America's #1 selling cleaner wax. So that's what we're using here. This is not what you use to clean up a vehicle. It's not a cut and polish type product. It's a wax. You're applying wax. It does clean up a little bit. It's a very light polish, but it leaves a wax there which helps protect and makes it nice and slippery. You just use, basically literally go like that. You apply with that, like Mr. Miyagi said, wax on, wax off, Daniel-san, right? and then you just use your polishing towel type thing. I fold it up in 4, and as it gets dirty, removing the wax, I turn to the other side, then turn it inside out, whatever. And I've got a number of those if I need to. Have a nice clean one at the end to give it a nice polish up, right? And that's how it ends up. So that's what we use. That's just stored inside the lid. It goes like that, right? And the plastic cover goes over the top, whatever, right? You'll figure that out. This stuff lasts ages. See that tub? It's done cars a number of times, right? Lasts ages. It's a bit of a rip-off expensive thing, but then, you get what you pay for. It's a decent product, whatever. You got to pay for these things, Anyway, the reason you want to use stuff like this is the sticks, right? If the paintwork's smooth, and this side I haven't just re-waxed, it's still, pre-treated, which is pretty smooth, which is why I can't see, it's been on overgrown tracks, and I can't see pinstripes, right? I can't see anything. It looks, look at that. We've got a low light on this side. I thought I'd do something different. Look at this car, right? You can see the reflection, right? But you can see the floor. You can see the floor's clean. Can't even see my legs, maybe. Anyway, right? It's beautiful, because what happens is those sticks, instead of digging in and gouging into the paintwork, they slide over the top. So the only ones you've really got to worry about then is basically like those berry bushes, blueberries and stuff. When they're dead, the sticks are bad. They're like razor blades. You want to chop those off. Take your hedge trimmer, and if you see that, take the extra few minutes, get out, chop it. I did the Crook River from Talbotville up. I stopped and did all those blueberries for you, I don't know, not that long ago, a few months or a year ago, or whatever it was. Anyway, this video was for the people that want to know what we use, because, a lot of people don't want to take care of their paintwork, and this stuff, it just works really well, okay? You can even see in our reflection our dirty old workbench. That's our dirty old hammer stuff around. That's the Rex stuff workbench, heavy duty workbench, if you know what I mean. Right, you can see that. Look how clear it is. It's just beautiful. I can't believe how good it is, and it really helps protect the paintwork. Now, some people say, oh, you just do it once a year. I've got to be quite honest. What happens every time you wash the car, it strips the wax off. So if you want to look after your paintwork the best, you need to sort of do it. Best is before every trip. No point doing it after, because it's not a product to clean and repair. Even though it's called cleaner wax, it's more of a protection. Put it on before trips for protection. And I suggest not polishing your paintwork, because what's going to happen is you've got your paint, you've got your clear. Every time you polish, you're taking material off. This stuff, it's not polishing, it's applying wax. Although it might have very light, it might clean up a little bit, but it's more, I think, filling the gaps. It's filling the cracks and the gaps with the wax. We make look good for you. So it makes it look good, but it's not so good, if you know what I mean, right? But you can clean it up later, like, once every few years, 5 years, 2 years, depends how fussy you are and how often you want to respray your car, how long you're keeping it. You might want to just give it a nice clean up when you sell it, every 5 years, 10 years, whatever. The paintwork will be fine for that, do you know what I mean? Don't go all the time, oh, I went on a trip, I got one pinstripe, and then just polish the hell out of this section, because you're just going to lose your paint eventually, right? If you keep doing that all the time, you're taking paint off, which is probably why the other vehicle's a little bit like it is, because I just leave it. It can definitely be cleaned up later, 100%. When I say 100%, 99% will come off 100%, if you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, hopefully that's been helpful. Please give us a thumbs up. That's what we use. It works for us. Just trying to share to help you save your paintwork. Subscribe, turn the bell on. More information and videos coming your way soon. See ya.